From the Coin 6 newsroom, this is breaking news.
Good afternoon. We are following breaking news right now. Police are on the scene of a shooting in North Portland where shots have been fired. We can tell you this is at Rosemary Anderson High School on North Killingsworth Court. Now, this happened just before 12:30 this afternoon. We know there are at least 2 victims at this point. We do not know if these are shooting victims. We do know that 2 people who have been injured have been taken to a local hospital. Now, this is an alternative high school in the Portland School District. This is a place where at-risk kids have been expelled or dropped out. It is a last chance school for students. Right now, we do have Brent Weisberg there live on the scene. Let's go to him right now.
Mike, good afternoon to you. It looks like we are about to get into a briefing from Sergeant Pete Simpson with the Portland Police Bureau here. We're just going to stick the mic in and let Pete talk.
So officers here responded to the report of a shooting at Rosemary Anderson High School. It's at Killingsworth Court and Borthwick. A number of officers responded. Initial information was very confusing. We learned pretty quickly we had 3 gunshot victims. All 3 are believed to be students at Rosemary Anderson. 2 males, 1 female. All 3 have been transported to Portland hospitals for treatment. The school went into lockdown, obviously. The area schools went into lockdown. Officers immediately began a rescue team to go into Rosemary Anderson and confirm there were no additional victims and no shooter on site. This is not an active shooter. We have learned that the shooting occurred outside the school on Killingsworth Court in Borthwick, and the victims ran into the school. So this is not an active shooter. Very preliminary investigation at this point. We don't have a lot of information. Preliminarily, we have information the shooter, I stress, may be gang affiliated. We don't know about the victims. The gang task force is here, the gun task force is here, and officers from across the city have responded to help out.
All 3 are students at the school?
We believe so. We need to confirm that information, but all 3 of them are student age. They went into the school. School staff is here being briefed by police officials. They're working with us to make sure that we've got everybody accounted for.
What should parents know about?
Well, parents that are coming out here need to respond to pick up their kids. They can come to Kirby and south of Killingsworth, so Kirby and Killingsworth Court along Jefferson High School field. That's where parents can come get their kids. But again, right now we only know of 3 victims. We've accounted for everybody else at the school. All 3 have been transported. I don't have their conditions right now. They're all transported alive. They were conscious and breathing, so that's very good news. And you know, we're working several facets right now. The crime scene is one, obviously making sure parents and kids are reunited. We've got people working on locating suspect or suspects involved in this case.
Do you know who the shooter is?
We haven't confirmed anything yet. We're getting very preliminary information. Obviously, our first priority here is safety of the students, and officers got here very quickly to get that done. Get medical treatment to the injured folks. Once we've made the scene static, and that's kind of where it's at now, we're going to start assessing what information we do have and confirming it. Obviously, something like this is very confusing, very fluid, and so we want to make sure we have good, accurate information.
Do we know where the shooter is?
We don't, no.
The shooting happened right left the scene.
Again, we haven't confirmed any information on how they left. We just, the information we got from witnesses was the shooting did occur outside, and the shooter did leave the scene.
And do we know any sort of injuries for the students or potential students?
Yeah, I don't have the specifics on the injuries yet. The medical folks transported all 3 to area hospitals. All 3 were conscious and breathing here at the scene. We'll get an assessment, obviously, from the hospital to determine the severity of the injuries.
Have the families of the 3 injured young people been notified or have shown up at the scene?
I don't know that yet. Obviously, parents are still arriving here and learning about this. The school is going to be working with us to make sure we get all the notifications done, to make sure that those folks go to the hospital. Any other parents should come here. And again, don't come to the Albina side. Go to Kirby, Killingsworth Court, which is next to Jefferson High School.
What kind of business is that?
It is Rosemary Anderson High School. It's an alternative high school. I don't have a number of students or anything yet. I mean, it's the CEO and the president of the school is here, and we'll certainly get some of that information.
And that is the school right there, that building?
That building is the school. It goes back in. There's also Portland Opportunities Industrial Council, POIC, is right here. There's Jefferson right next door to it, and there's PCC. So this is a big educational complex.
And the shooting happened on the sidewalk in front of the school?
No, it happened. The shooting happened on Borthwick at Killingsworth Court. So it happened outside the schools. The victims ran to the school after the shooting occurred. So the shooter was never in the school that we know of. The shooter left the scene. This is definitely not an active shooter situation.
How far is the shooting scene from the school?
It is around the corner. So where the gathering of officers is, that's at Borthwick, that goes up to Killingsworth. So it's right over there.
Was it lunchtime?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the exact how the events unfolded just yet.
So all three victims were able to get into the school on their own?
Were all three victims?
All three got into the school. I don't know if they had help or not.
Were all three victims from Rosemary?
We believe they're all students. We have to confirm that because there is 3 schools right here, so we need to make sure they're all attending where they're attending. So we'll tighten that up as the investigation goes on.
What about parents?
As you just heard Sergeant Pete Simpson right now talking a little bit about what has been happening here. Just to let my directors know, I had to take my earpiece out because of the mixed minus, but you can see just the amount of police presence that is here right now. Heard Sergeant Pete Simpson say they have just updated us. There are now three victims in this, and we still are trying to learn the condition of these individuals who were shot. And you heard Sergeant Simpson say that this shooting did not happen inside the school. It happened out on the street. We have members of the Portland Police Bureau's gang enforcement team. They are here. They are going to be the primary investigators, it sounds like, because there is initial information from Portland Police indicating that the people involved with this, at least the shooter or shooters, may have some sort of gang affiliation connection. Now again, the 3 people who were transported here from Rosemary Anderson High School in North Portland, they've been taken to a local hospital, and Sergeant Pete Simpson is saying that all of them were conscious, they were breathing. That is good news, but we are still waiting to get a full update on their patient condition. Now again, there are multiple schools in this area, including Jefferson High School and Portland Community College. Both of those 2 schools are also in lockdown, and in this area we can hear right now it is a siren that is going off, kind of letting people know about what is happening in this situation. This camera right now pointed down towards Portland Community College. That is where that alarm is coming from, saying that the college right now is on lockdown. This situation happened just before 12:30 this afternoon, right around kind of the lunch hour. So this is a very busy area of North Portland here. We are at the intersection of Albina and Killingsworth Court, and you can see Portland firefighters on scene also assisting with this investigation too. So very preliminary information, Mike, as we said. We have 3 victims in this shooting that happened at Rosemary Anderson High School here in North Portland. All 3 of those people have been taken to a local hospital. They were conscious and breathing, according to Sergeant Pete Simpson. What is happening now is they are in the very early stages of trying to figure out who is responsible for the shooting. At this point, you just heard the sergeant say they don't know if there are multiple people who are responsible or just one person. So at this point, there is no one in custody as a result of this shooting. So there was never an active shooter situation actually inside the building here. Police did not engage with anyone, but Portland police say at this point they need parents to be aware of where to go to the staging point. We also just see some trauma intervention specialists. They have just arrived here. You can see this gentleman in the blue vest right now talking to the Portland police officer. A lot of people are just starting to find out about this situation and are starting to come out here to the North Portland area near this shooting at Rosemary Anderson High School, but Portland police are encouraging everyone to stay back because this is an ongoing investigation. As this continues to happen, parents should be heading to Killingsworth Court and Kirby. So, Mike, we're going to send it back to you right now.
Okay, Brent, thanks for that update. Once again, as Brent just said, the important thing for parents right now to understand is they are being told to pick up their students at North, Killingsworth, and Kirby. There's a map for you on your screen right there. That is right near Jefferson High School. Jefferson and Portland Community College are currently on lockdown, and traffic in the area is affected by this. If you are just joining us, I do want to recap. We just heard a press conference from police Portland Police Information Officer Pete Simpson, who says that there are 3 gunshot victims that have been taken to a hospital, 2 boys and a girl. They are still looking for the shooter, who may be gang affiliated, they say. They believe that all 3 of the victims may be students, but that is not yet confirmed. Sergeant Simpson said that all the victims are of high school age. The victims are conscious and breathing. The shooter apparently shot from the street, fired those shots, and then left the scene. There may be one shooter. There may be more shooters at this point. But at right now, what we can tell you is that the school is located at 717 North Killingsworth Court. That is in North Portland. It is an alternative high school where students are sent if they have been expelled or have dropped out. The school has been in operation since 1983, as we continue to give you a live look at the scene right there. The school has 190 students. We don't yet know if those injured, the 2 boys and 1 girl injured, in fact, are students there. We will have more information throughout the afternoon as we uncover it, and we will break in as necessary. For the time being, you can see more of our coverage right now online at coin.com.